if you can open your homes and your hearts to such a thing, the benefits are too numerous to count. Okay, so I'm Caroline. My husband's Tim. I have two little boys, William, 6.5, and Ollie, 23 months. And I have two baby cats, 7 months old, who are Gin and Tonic. We are a very close family of all boys and one girl. Tim and I are both pilots. He flies for Cathay Pacific. I fly for Virgin Australia. So we've had au pairs as part of our family since William, my eldest, was a year old. So that means we've been nearly 6 years with the program now. We don't have any family close to us here in Sydney, Australia. And so for that reason, we need extra help because we're both shift workers. We can't utilise regular day cares and the usual childcare that's available here in Australia. So for that reason, we're part of the au pair program. Because with an au pair, we have live-in childcare. It's flexible. And for us, it works exceptionally well because we have the stability of having an extra member of our family to look after our children while we work.
I think I probably need an au pair. I had to learn to leave because he was one hard baby to look after, I have to say.
So all of our au pairs, except one, have been from Europe. Our first au pair was a Canadian girl, and she was with us for a year. And after her, we have had exclusively German au pairs, except for two French girls. So I think that's due more to the fact that in Germany, au pairing is very much part of the growing up culture. Predominantly for young girls, but we are starting to see some young men coming into the program now as well. But I think the cultural factors in Europe are actually what influence the au pair selection in our family more than anything, because we don't have a preference for one nationality over another. We simply look for the right person. Mostly quite young. I think our au pair, Teresa, would have been the eldest that we've had. She was 25 when she came to our family. The youngest girl we've had was 19 when she joined us. She's with us now. We had another girl join us at 19 and a half. The average age seems to hover around 20, 21. Although, again, individual maturity influences things more than actual age. Girls vary quite widely in their maturity levels. Doesn't really have that much of a bearing on age, to be honest. Our au pairs are responsible for the children when I'm away. When I'm at work, I'm not contactable. I'm flying an aeroplane. They can't get me. So we need people who can work on their own and who can individually manage the kids. The routine's the same regardless of who's doing it. Get them up, feed them, off to school, play at the park for the little one, down for his nap, do the afternoon, more food, more play, home for dinner, bath and bed. It's all very simple with a few extra activities thrown in. And there's downtime there. I'll step in when I can when I get home from work, as will my husband. The au pairs are also responsible for tidying away all the kids' mess. Sorry. Helping with the laundry and cleaning up, those sorts of things. Just all the things I can't do when I'm not there. Without an au pair, I would not be able to work. It's that simple. So for our family, it's an enormous difference. It enables me to go to work, do what I love to do, earn the extra money for the family. In addition to that, we find that the people we've met, the people who've been part of our family, they still are part of our family. They give us so much. It's not just childcare. We get to know them. They become like our grown-up kids. So far, we've had one of our au pairs come back and visit, and that was really special. These people become a part of us, and that's the best part of the whole program for us. Going through that process, we usually find we have a very good feel for who's going to fit and who's not. It's surprisingly easy to pick that up. just in a simple video chat, ask a few questions. So we'll do at least one interview, sometimes two. I use WhatsApp as a messaging thing. So the questions can go back and forth as needed without the pressure of an interview. I find that really helps. Otherwise, I rely on my interview skills to pick out the right person and to try to get to know them a little bit and see if they're going to be a good match or not. I would say typically there's the closeness and the feeling of responsibility that you would see from an older sibling, an adult sibling, but there's a little bit of extra authority behind it because the au pairs speak with my voice and my authority when I'm not here. So it's a sort of a sibling with superpowers, if I was going to put it that way. What they bring is a natural understanding of consistency and routine and the importance of gentle discipline and firmly set boundaries. Again, and that is something that they bring with them. It's something that we encourage, and it aligns very naturally. So, um, honestly, these girls contribute so much just by being themselves. If we were to pay for a professional nanny to mind our children, it would cost more than my annual salary. So, this has the benefit of being a family like environment, and we do our best to nurture that, which has worked for us extremely well. And it's a lot more cost effective. So it's beneficial on both fronts. So we choose very carefully for people who we feel have a genuine love of younger children, because our boys are sort of almost 2 and almost 7. Um, what we love to see is when the children instinctively react to the au pairs that we've chosen. There have been a couple of instances where William, the eldest particularly, has bonded straight away. With 2 of our girls, he's just run straight to them and crawled into their lap, which was beautiful to see. Little baby Ollie bonded with one of our au pairs in the same way. He ran at her like a human cannonball, and that was that from day one. Otherwise, I find that the girls tend to bond quite naturally with the kids just through their daily activities, mostly through play. We let them give treats, um, doing fun things, and just getting to know them. We look for people who can get down to the level of the children and be part of their world rather than supervise it from above. So we look for that extra level of wanting to be emotionally involved. And the children have a way of sensing that. They really pick up on it, and they'll actually pull the au pairs into their world and into their play. And that's one of the loveliest things to see. And we look for girls who are eager to do that. Our family is quite multicultural as it is with our background. Um, I would say the children pick up different things more in an amusing way than anything else. Our au pairs have been predominantly German, and Ollie has been known to say "nein" when he doesn't want something, which is really funny. Um, I've learned quite a bit about German cookery, which is good fun. Other than that, I would say that in our family, the way we raise our children aligns quite naturally with the European way of doing things. So rather than, obviously the girls will bring their cultural experiences and ideas with them, and we absolutely embrace that. But I would also say that they're a very natural fit because our family values align very well with theirs. So they enhance our experience by what they bring, in the sense that it's already very harmonious, as well as other ideas like recipes for cake and food and pasta and wonderful things like that. We've had more special moments than I could possibly count. There was the first day William met Teresa, who was an absolute superstar of an au pair. And she sat down on the floor and held out her arms, and he just ran straight and launched into her lap. And he just melted into her. It was the most beautiful thing. When Teresa left, she left us a little scrapbook of her and William's time together with photos and stories. And we still get emotional thinking about that because it's just such a beautiful thing to do. And it just shows the quality of the person that she is. She's still very close to our family. There was William had a moment with Claudine this morning, actually. No, William had a moment with Claudine earlier today where they were having, shall we say, a difference of opinion over the need for him to do what he was told. But then Claudine comes into the kitchen and tells me that William told you that she taught him so much and the importance of doing the right thing. So that was actually really, really special because William's now old enough to express that he just learned something from one of our au pairs and the message got through. With a 6-year-old male child, that's quite a milestone. Agencies have the resources to screen and shortlist for you, and that saves a great deal of time. It doesn't eliminate the possibility of picking the wrong person, but it improves the odds considerably. And you are choosing a person to care full-time for your children based on a video chat with someone on the other side of the world. So, frankly, I'll take whatever help I can get. Because we have rescued girls in the past from situations where it was simply that the role of the au pair was not understood. But again, working with an agency like Smart Au Pairs and talking to somebody like Camilla or one of her ladies, they're actually an enormous help in guiding new families through that process. So I would say do it. And I would also say do your research and make use of all available resources to make it a success because it's so worth the effort to do that. We've always been with Smart Au Pairs. We've never been with anyone else. We've got a terrific relationship with them. Camilla, the current head, is extremely helpful with our needs because as a family, without any additional family support, we really rely on au pair support to enable me to stay in my job. Camilla's always been extremely helpful. And one thing I like about Smart Au Pairs is the way the agency supports the girls. When I speak to Camilla, when I email her, she says, oh, yes, I've been in touch with your au pair, or oh, I've been in touch with this girl if we're going to take someone in who needs a little assistance. And that's one of the things I like about them the most. They don't just support the families, they actually support the au pairs as well. Yep, so the agency is a huge help there because I'm very time poor. I've got 2 little kids and a full-time job. I don't have the time resource to go through hundreds of candidates and pick out a shortlist. Again, we've got a really good relationship. Camilla knows what I need in an au pair. And so she puts together great shortlists for me. And yeah, it's very easy. We just choose from a list. More often than not, our au pairs will actually choose us. We find it's the girls who get in touch, who see our profile, who want to be part of our family. They tend to be an excellent match for us. We first discovered it looking around. Hello, cat. Looking around at childcare options when I was getting ready to return to work. And we also looked around a little bit in the planning stages before William was born. We came to the conclusion that live-in childcare was the only option that would work for us due to the nature of my job. And so the au pair program was actually the only thing that enables me to work. Yes, I would, and I do on a regular basis. I've sent several families to Smart Au Pairs. They are exceedingly easy to deal with. They're very accommodating, and the relationship that Camilla particularly maintains with the au pairs and also with the families makes it an excellent solution for anybody who wants to try an alternative form of childcare. I would say that an au pair is one of the best additions you can make to your family. If you've got the house room to permit it, that's not always possible with the current situation in Australia. But I would say, with the rising cost of childcare, if the house room's available, if you're willing to accommodate somebody, I think any family would be surprised by how well it works out, how much money it will save them, and how much their children will benefit from employing an au pair as either an alternative to organised childcare or in addition for the extra hours of care that children need while their parents work. It's a beautiful addition to the family. You meet some incredible people through this program. They do become a part of your life, and it's in such a good way. It adds a dimension that you wouldn't normally imagine to family life. And if you can open your homes and your hearts to such a thing, the benefits are too numerous to count. Get in touch with another family, get in touch with an experienced host family, talk to them, talk to their au pairs if they're free and if they're able to help out. Do go through an agency. I recommend Smart Au Pairs because that's my choice. And really do your homework, really prepare thoroughly, and always keep in mind that the person coming out is coming out to join your family. This is a young person from the other side of the world. They've probably never been this far from home before, and they're going to be quite vulnerable. But if you support them, if you nurture them, if you let them into your lives and your hearts and your families, they will repay that kindness 1,000 times to your children, who are the most precious things of all. And it's one of the best things you can do.